Hello and welcome. Today we'll be discussing the Editable Table of Contents feature within the Parcel platform. Now from within the report, as long as you have the correct permission level, meaning Project Manager Plus or above, and as long as the template is owned by your company, meaning that it's not a shared template with another company or a template that was passed down onto you from a lender client, for instance, you'll see this Editable TOC or Editable Table of Contents button. By selecting that button, it'll open up a variety of options through the Editable Table of Contents interface. First and foremost, you can rename or renumber any sections of the report. If I wanted to undo any changes, I can do so, or of course undo all. And if at any point you want to cancel all of the changes that you've made, you can do so with the cancel button here, which will return us to the main screen. Any of the changes that we're making are temporary until we go ahead and we save the table of contents. Now from here I can do a variety of other things as well. I can drag and drop a section to rearrange. I can even move that section into a subsection by just sliding it to the right hand side or making it a full section again by sliding it to the left. From here I've rearranged some sections, so I want to go ahead and renumber, and I can do so manually, or I can go ahead and click the Renumber Table of Contents button up here at the top, and it'll renumber all of those sections for me. If there are sections at the beginning of the report that aren't numbered, it's quite common, by clicking Renumber TOC, it will ignore that first section and renumber all of the sections below. From here I can go ahead and I can save that table of contents. It'll make the changes. And then it'll ask us if we want to apply some additional options, which we'll go through here in a moment. Some additional features under the Edit Table of Contents option is the ability of making changes to the properties of a particular section. So I can come in here and I can say Edit, and for the Recommendations section, do I want this section to become part of the Executive Summary table? Do I want photographs to be able to be included in the body of the report within this section? Do I want this section to have an include box, which means there would be a box here on the upper right hand side, a button really, which would allow somebody of a lower permission status, field staff for instance, to be able to decide whether this section was included in the report or not. Very, very common in the additional scopes section of a phase 1, for instance. Do I want this section to have a header that shows in the report? So if I add a section under a table, do I want that to have a brand new header? Do I want that section to show up in the table of contents in my final deliverable? And last but not least, do I want this section to show up in the mobile app, the EDR mobile app, when I'm out in the field? So this would allow you to pare down the report top to bottom to only those sections that you would expect to see in the field itself. From any particular section, I of course have the option of deleting a section or the option of adding a section, and I do that through copy. With different clients, they have different settings, even background settings that you can't see here. Then we want to make sure that the new section that you add is in conformance with sections that are already in the report. So from here, I can rename. I can say this is a new section, and I can save, and I've added that new section here. Now once we're done, I can go ahead and again I can save that table of contents. And that will make those changes and save them immediately for the report that we're working on here. And if that's all I needed to make changes for this one report and move forward, you can go ahead and click OK, continue working in the report, and finish up your project. But now I do have some additional template options as well. I have started with an original template and I've made some changes, so do I want to save those changes as a new template? Or do I want to update the existing template? This is the master template. If I was to update the template, then anyone who starts a project using this template would use those changes that I've made here. For today's purposes, we'll save it as a new template. And from there, the new template has been created. And I can go ahead and I can close. Or again, I have some additional options here. Do I want to rename my new template, or do I want to edit the properties of my new active template? Meaning, do I want to edit what the default cover page is, what the default language library associated with that template is? I can do that from here. For today's purposes, we'll say I'd like to rename my new template. and continue. So it starts as copy of new phase 1, and I'll say new bank phase 1. And by clicking save, that template is now available and ready for use. So immediately if we were to go to start a project, we would see this template and we can go ahead and select it. Now that has not affected the original template that we started with, so we now have two, the original and the brand new with the changes that we've made. With any questions, please feel free to reach out to our support team via email, phone, or simply by selecting the Support Help button here at the bottom of the page and letting us know what you have a question with. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.